All-American Vince Cornella. How's about your name's Cornella and you end up at Cornell?
I was talking to Piles about that when we were at the collegiate duels, man. I was like, what kind of pressure did that guy feel committing to colleges?
Yeah, the recruiting pitch sells itself as we are underway. Cornella in the red of the big red of Cornell from Ithaca, New York. And from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the UPenn Quakers. That's Composto.
And originally when I looked at brackets this morning, Composto had a forfeit in the semis, but I read it the wrong way and thought he was forfeiting in the semis, so I panicked a little bit. Because, I mean, this guy's in the mix this season.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, talk about the Scuffle this year being a step up and showing the kind of depth that it has in maybe in the last couple of years. Composto, number 5 in the nation. Cornella, number 13. But that's a guy that he just hasn't been on the mat in a while. That right. Number 13 ranking, that's a top 10 guy.
And he's tough on top, man. That guy's a wizard on top. And again, got to see a lot of these guys at a lot of these Cornell guys. They didn't have a full lineup at collegiate duels, but they had some of their hammers out there.
Yeah, Cornella came back to the mat for the first time at collegiate duels since the 2024 EIWA championships, where he got injured, unfortunately. Couldn't finish that tournament, didn't wrestle at NCAAs, then had the entire season off, then the whole first semester off. So glad to have Vince back. He's a senior, and he's been a guy for Cornell for a little while now. Qualified in 23, 24 injured, 25. He may get that year back, but you only get 4 years at Ivy Leagues. So he'll have to do it as a grad transfer if he does get that year back. But that's for later. Right now we got a final and a little throw by knee pick, knee pull.
Came up to the body there, man. That's such a tough decision to make. You get a decent bite on the leg. You're approaching seat belt, and you kind of come off the leg to the strongest part of their body. But Cornella back to it again. Now he splits near ankle for Composto, which isn't ideal. Really want to have far ankle here, but Cornella looking like he wants to post that leg and step over bottom leg, but he'd give up the leg pass at that point, so he really needs to keep his left hip down and pressure back towards the head. Nice little flurry there.
Yeah, going to have to pay attention to these guys because they aren't slowing down.
No. And Composto, I've never touched him before in the room or anything like that, but he just makes me feel like he's one of these sticky guys that when he grabs you and he climbs up your arms and he gets his hands on you, you just can't shake him off.
Tenacious.
He's always reaching for those hands, climbing up those arms. Cornella, left side thumb block. Oh, and that's just such a smooth attack. He's got Composto on his butt. He's got it shelved all the way across. He can reach to the hip and cut him back here.
12 seconds to finish.
Oh, looks dump. No way he changed his headlock here. Oh, my gosh.
Headlock could be big. Is it 3 yet? Oh, he almost had 3 and near fall, but instead.
They gave him the takedown.
Oh, they did give him the takedown.
So he goes single leg, had it shelved, all the way across, pulls the hip, starts to run him over, then for some reason reaches up near arm, far leg, dumps him to a hip, then changes off headlock, exactly how you drill it in the practice room.
Not quite the traditional way to finish when you pinpoint someone's ankle like that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just, when you spend hundreds, thousands of hours in the practice room, you just feel that stuff and you just go with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably not something he's drilled before, like intentionally, but he's just been in those positions in the practice room. That's the organic part of training. Think of how creative you got to get.
Oh, 100%. When you're in that Cornell room and you got Vito below you, Vito Arujau, world champion. You got world bronze medalist, 4-time NCAA champion, Yanni Diakomahalis at the weight class above you. That'll get you creative in a hurry.
You get twisted up in a pretzel and some things in that room, I'm sure. But just the awareness for him to reach up and grab that elbow and just come off the leg up to the near arm far leg. Like, here's my thing: if the referee is swiping near fall, then you agreed that there was control for a takedown.
Right.
So, to me, it's going to be really tough unless they say there was never a near fall criteria situation. Yeah, and that's right there towards the end where he slips up to the elbow.
So no swipes, but they called the 3. You see where the ref did. I can understand why he did. That was right back to the earlier part of that exchange.
Yeah.
So that's a tough call. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to even hazard a guess at this point, because it's like, yeah, he had him in a headlock, and then he immediately got pulled over, and this is where folk style gets.
I think you're going to see a 3 and a 1 here, like a takedown and an escape, loss of control, maybe.
And you know these coaches want this. This is an Ivy League grudge match.
Oh yeah.
This won't be the last time they see each other.
3. Oh, and no loss of control. Oh, period ended. I don't know when the period ended, where Composto was when the period ended, because he was, so I guess he's technically still in a front headlock, so probably no loss of control there.
They really like waiting to the last second. All these
I know,
matches
right?
here, whether it's the first period or what, quick stand and escape for Composto, so he gets on the board 3-1. We got ourselves a match.
Oh, nice little far side knee pull. In a similar position we were in with Cornella, except he can't get it shelved all the way across as Composto. Now Cornella in a much better position to defend. He just gets his right leg straight, though.
Yeah, deep sprawl has Composto's belly on the mat. Now Cornella looking maybe to create some space and spin behind. Composto wrenching on that leg, doesn't want to let go. They're letting the action continue, see if anybody can improve.
Yeah, that's a master class in baseline defense right there from Cornella. It's like the further you can take the hands and the elbows away from your opponent's body when they got your leg, the better. But he never went back to his knees and let Composto split. That's the thing, is a lot of times you'll initially stop the takedown and then you'll get so consumed with going to the corner that you'll come back to your knees to start to pivot, and then that's when your opponent kind of posts and splits.
Finds another opportunity in the scramble.
Yep.
So the score stays 3-1. A little less than a minute remaining in the second period. Cornella leads in this intra-Ivy final 2026 Southern Scuffle. Kenzie Arena, great place to watch a tournament. These seats, you're right on
There's
top
not a
of
bad
the
place
action.
in that. There's not a bad seat in the house. There really isn't. I mean, a lot of people will say that kind of cliche-wise, but this is a perfect size for a wrestling event.
And you get to know it as you walk up those stairs. Those are steep
stairs
to get to the concourse.
I left for lunch, and I almost didn't want to leave for lunch when I got to the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Cornella got to make an adjustment here. He don't want to give up a dumb stall call.
He's getting pushed all the way to the end. It's almost like he's trying to play the grounded game as if it was freestyle, staying down on the mat, but action is called.
I feel like I've seen that a little more this collegiate season with guys like playing the grounded thing, because like if you're grounded on your knees, it's tougher to push a guy straight back out of bounds, right?
And it makes it look like you're at least staying in, whereas the other guy's just
space,
a straight up push.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just hypersensitive to it because we all just want to push out. Step out in college.
We want a rule. You go out of bounds, that should not be good for somebody.
Yeah, it's just.
So, free escape for Cornella as he tries to go down, and Composto counters, short offense.
That's a perfect example of you want to shut down your opponent's offense, shut down their attack hand. Cornella lowered his level and went to attack, and Composto just had his wrist and just guided his hands to the mat. Lefty hook here for Composto. Looked like he wanted to throw by, get to an anchor attack. Now he goes right side sweep. And again, both these guys are wrist fighting heavily.
Oh, yeah.
Stall call on Cornella.
So Composto doing enough to force that stall call as he's pushed with his butt out of bounds. We're going to get a restart with 1:22 on the clock. Composto needs to figure out a way to get to his offense. Originally from Westfield, New Jersey, Union County, now at UPenn. Cornella from Colorado, Monarch High School, Ithaca, New York.
Going carry here.
Can he get some more points? That'll be huge with just a minute left. A little post on the foot sweep into a fireman's.
Shallow Turk. They haven't signaled the 3. Finally gets it. Composto here on a switch.
And no brick from Coach Valenti. Not that, well, he already threw it, so.
Yeah, that was a quick stalemate. I don't know if there's an emphasis on the refs this season to call quicker stalemates if there's not a quick change off a leg attack, but that was a pretty quick stalemate.
Yeah, it could just be the style of the referees here in Chattanooga. We get a caution. Composto was a little too eager there, unsurprisingly, since he trails by 6 with 53 seconds to work. Got to get a lot done in a little bit of time. Big mat return from Cornella. Composto right back to fighting hands.
And Cornella, like I mentioned earlier before the match started, he's tough on top, man. He can kill a period. He can threaten and turn. He's built himself a pretty good lead here.
And Composto, you got to be thinking feet to back with just 30. He's in deep on a shot. Cornella on his butt, locked around the crotch.
Cornella can't relax here and think. We've seen guys relax late in the match and give up big points. He needs to take him over his head. He doesn't even let him cast over. Cornella needs to take Composto over his head and look to split. He's look to split here. Ooh, that's close to danger for both guys.
Yeah, who do you even call it on that point? Good readjustment from Cornella. That should chew up the final seconds. Time's going to run out. 7-2, our least exciting bout, and still plenty of action from these guys. Great display of wrestling. These guys will be in the mix for All-American honors, but it's Vince Cornella and Cornell with a champion in this Ivy League battle. We're going to check out a quick replay here. And then next is 149. After the replay, we are going to kick it to commercials. But first, there's that dump of little fireman's holding on to that tricep.
Yeah, it was like half fireman.